Titus O'Neil. Ha! Yeah! What's up, everybody? This is the WWE Raw Review Show for Monday, December 27th, the final Monday of 2021. Tonight on the show, lots of WWE stars missing because of COVID-19. WWE Day 1. We'll preview it for you. A lot of matches in jeopardy coming up on Saturday. And Eric Bischoff, back and better than ever, makes his return to Monday Night Raw. Let's talk about Raw and wrestling and Day 1 and things with you. Let's go. Okay. O'Neil. Titus O'Neil. We're singing songs about Titus O'Neil.
I missed that guy.
Where? Can I get my beat back? Here you go. Titus O'Neil. Darren Young. Millions of dollars. Primetime players. Titus O'Neil. You know what I'm saying? It's Titus O'Neil. All right. That's it. We're just singing songs about Titus O'Neil to the intro music before we came on, and that had to continue for some reason.
Having a good time.
We're having a good time. It's a holiday season. We're singing about Titus O'Neil. Titus O'Neil, how do you feel? Keeping it real? Titus O'Neil. Okay. Shout out to Silent by Deadly dropping a super chat before the show even started. Hit us up on super chat. I love the dedication. I like when people hit us up on super chat before the show even starts. Motivates me to come on. People put a super chat. I'm like, oh, I better do the show then. I mean, I can't.
Time to get things started.
I can't slack off tonight. I got Silent by Deadly giving me a $5 super chat. I better go on and do a show for my man Silent. Shout out Silent. Shout out Lorne. Shout out Angelo Cotagonis, member of the team. Angelo's doing it big. He's doing it right. All right. I can't see your face on the camera. Only on camera. Only on camera.
All right then.
There we go.
Raw
pal. Thank you. Leor is a member. Thank you, Leor. I love when people become members. I love when people super chat us because then, the shows keep going and we could keep talking about Raw and so on. We are here. It's a holiday season, final Raw review of the year, and a lot is going on in the world of pro wrestling. A very strange time. I feel like people are not paying attention to what's going on in the WWE because this is the most dead week of the year. No one pays attention to anything between Christmas and New Year's. This is kind of a week when nobody's doing original programming. Nobody's bringing you anything new. WWE giving you a brand new Raw tonight, and we are here on the Ringside Report Network giving you new programming all week long. I'll be here tonight, obviously, because you see me. I'll be here again Wednesday night after Dynamite with Johnny North. I'll be back Thursday night. I know we took a little Christmas break for Festivus last week with Ringside Report MMA, but we will be back this Thursday night for a year in review, best of 2021. Not a recap show. We will be live doing a show, just looking back on the year that was in the UFC and beyond in the world of mixed martial arts, but we will be off this coming Friday. We're usually on after every Raw, Dynamite, and SmackDown, but this Friday's New Year's Eve, and WWE doesn't look like they're doing a real show on Friday night. SmackDown doesn't look like it's happening. Looks like they're doing a
top 10?
Yeah, top 10 moments of 2021, kind of a clip show coming up on Friday. So this was really the go-home show for WWE Day 1, and like I mentioned, weird time in the WWE. A lot of people seem to have COVID or have been in contact with people who have COVID. Seth Rollins has COVID. I'm going to bring up the Seth Rollins tweet here for you. But here is Seth Rollins yesterday. Merry COVID Christmas to me. I love football. That is Seth Rollins at WWE Rollins tweeting yesterday, confirming that, yes, indeed, he's got the Rona. Seth has COVID. He was pulled from a WWE show at Madison Square Garden yesterday. A bunch of superstars were pulled. Seth's wife, Becky Lynch, also pulled from the Garden show. She was not on Raw tonight. Bianca Belair also pulled from WWE shows over the weekend. Roman Reigns, a great number of WWE stars. And you noticed a few people strangely missing tonight on Monday Night Raw. But we do know that the Universal Champion Roman Reigns pulled from shows over the weekend. Becky Lynch, the Raw Women's Champion. Big E, the WWE Champion. Bianca Belair, Seth Rollins, among others, pulled from WWE shows this weekend. And the word is it's COVID-19 related. Seth Rollins, the only one who has admitted to having COVID. WWE doesn't usually release that information, but you can kind of read between the lines and figure out who's got what, who's where, and why they're not around. A little bit surprising to see so many people dropping out so close to day one. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. It's COVID. It's the, virus, the
Omicron.
The Omicron. Everybody's getting the Omicron. And it seems like the Omicron is going through the WWE roster. And it's not good. You definitely noticed some absences tonight. You definitely noticed some segments getting stretched out. It was obvious that you were missing some key players tonight. You were missing the WWE Champion. You were missing Bobby Lashley. You were missing Big E. You were missing Becky Lynch. You were missing Bianca Belair. You were missing Doudrop. You were missing Rhea Ripley. You were missing Zelina Vega. A great number of people tonight that you would expect to be on the show were missing in action. You saw a backstage promo from Nikki Ash. She challenged Carmella and Zelina to a women's tag team title rematch at some point. Nikki's tag team partner, Rhea Ripley, not there. Later on, you see Carmella answering Nikki Ash's challenge and saying, yes, we will defend the titles against you and Rhea Ripley. Didn't say when, didn't say at day one. And also Carmella's tag team partner, Zelina Vega, conspicuous by her absence. A lot of people tonight that you expected to be there. AJ Styles versus Omas, advertised match. They were advertising this match going into TV, going into 8 p.m. They were telling their fans, you will see AJ Styles versus Omas. Guess what? Omas wasn't in the building tonight. AJ Styles wound up wrestling Apollo Crews instead.
He was at the MSG show, though, Omas.
Was he?
He was. He and AJ wrestled, and I saw a clip where they did the Eddie Guerrero DQ spot with the chair, and it was pretty sloppy.
Well, maybe something happened with his status.
Yeah, it's quite top-heavy, the missing superstars. It's all a lot of the main featured wrestlers. It's huge. And also, a lot of the senior management was not present at Raw tonight.
Right. Tell us about that. Who was not there?
Vince McMahon was not there. Kevin Dunn was not there. Michael Hayes was not there. Bruce Pritchard was not there.
Wow.
Like, senior top management.
And when you say senior, also senior citizens. They're all old AF. Those guys are at risk.
Yeah. Johnny Ace was running the show tonight.
Oh, it was
People
a great
power.
Show. People power. It was fantastic. You see the show I did tonight? I'm going to call Vince. Hey, Vince, you like the show I did?
It was terrible, pal. You're a goddamn piece of shit.
Oh, sorry, Vince. You're right. I am a piece of shit. People power, Vince. Thanks for giving me a job. I love you.
Expect the unexpected. Click.
Expected and unexpected. Shout out to Doug Hepper and Angelo Contagonis. Just watched Monday Night Football. I guess he didn't watch Monday Night Raw, pal. You didn't miss too much, but it was an interesting episode of Raw. I will say it wasn't the worst episode I've ever seen. It wasn't the best, but we had some moments that were all right. We had some decent matches. We opened up with Riddle and Chad Gable, which was a pretty good match.
After the awful Riddle-Randy promo, of course.
Oh, yeah. We had like 30 minutes of Riddle and Randy to start the show, which is a good indication that they were kind of light on talent and they needed people to stretch. And Riddle and Randy were stretching. They did an opening promo in the middle of the ring. Riddle talking about the end of the year and New Year's, and Randy talking about how he's going to beat Otis tonight and retain the tag team titles at day one. And then Randy got the production team to play a video on the Tron, and when we come back from the video, the idiot Matt Riddle wonders how Randy got the team to play a video and thinks it's possibly magic. Oh, it must be magic, Randy. So crazy. You ever had magic mushrooms, dude? It's just like over-the-top idiot character again from Riddle. The promo was awful. The guy's in the WWE. He's a grown man with children. He's married. He has extramarital affairs. We know about Matt Riddle. Yet, when his tag team partner gets the production team to play a video package on the Tron, he acts like it's the craziest thing he's ever seen, and it may be magic.
I feel like Matt Riddle has said, let's look at the Titantron and see what happened last week several times. He must have. Every wrestler does that.
I don't know why he acted like he'd never seen that before. I know he acts like he's in awe of Randy, but yeah, and Doug Hepburn making a good point. Riddle is giving weed a bad look. It's true. Yeah. They make weed smokers look like the dumbest, most airheaded people on planet Earth, and it's just not the case. That's not how you act after you smoke a joint. That's how you act when you're dropped on your head and you suffer a debilitating brain injury. Like there's something...
Or if you huff an aerosol can or those kinds of weird drugs.
Or if there's some sort of...
juggalo drugs.
I think, Riddle... is less coming off like a weed smoker and more coming off like a slow adult.
Yeah,
right? He's like, oh my God, you just magic on the screen, Randy. Like, normal adults, even adults that smoke weed, don't believe in magic, right? But this guy thinks magic.
Yeah.
I mean, he acts like Eugene. He really does. He's like a slightly more comprehensible Eugene.
Yeah, they're not making as many jokes about him in that context like they did about Eugene, so they think it's okay.
Yeah, but he just comes off dumb. He comes off slow. Simple, right? Not high, just, a little slow. A slow adult. Matt Riddle, the slow adult. So Chad Gable and Otis come out finally to break up this promo. Gable talks about how great Otis is, and then Riddle wants a match, and we have a match, Riddle versus Chad Gable, which was actually pretty good, but way too short. As they were going into the finish, I said, this is a good match. I hope they just give it a couple more minutes, and it was immediately over. At that moment, it ended. A floating bro, Riddle getting the win via pinfall. And, it was a good match. Two guys that know how to wrestle, know how to fight for real. There was a moment where Riddle applied a triangle, and Gable cartwheeled out of the triangle and transitioned into an ankle lock reverse. It was just a beautiful transition out of a triangle into an ankle lock, and it wasn't just beautiful pro wrestling, it was beautiful legitimate grappling. Like, I saw Gable pull that move, and I thought, yeah, that makes sense. That's a nice move. You could do that for real in a real fight, and Riddle with his UFC background and Gable with his real amateur wrestling background, they could go in there and grapple for real. Riddle's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Gable, like I said, highly decorated wrestler. These guys know how to grapple, and the match was very, very good. Unfortunately, WWE gives no time to real wrestlers, real grapplers. Please take note, Gable Steveson, you may be the next Chad Gable if you're not careful. If WWE thinks you're undersized or you don't have the right look, I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen Gable Steveson, the Olympic gold medalist that they signed there, but he's not super jacked. Like, he's in good shape, but he's, got a little bit of, softness on his body. He doesn't look like Brock Lesnar. I wonder if the WWE, they put him in trunks. They decide, he doesn't really have promo ability. He really doesn't have the look. Yeah, he's a gold medalist, but let's just have him be another guy and,
Rah USA guy, but,
This is what I'm saying. Like, they try to recruit these athletes, but then when you have real athletes like a Chad Gable, like a Jason Jordan, when he was still wrestling, like an Otis, they're treated like garbage. Matt Riddle, a legitimate UFC athlete, is treated like a total moron. And Randy Orton, a guy with no athletic pedigree, a guy who was AWOL in the U.S. military. That's his background. And, of course, he's Cowboy Bob's son. Randy Orton is the guy that's treated like gold from the company. So just be aware, young athletes that may be getting signed to the WWE, definitely not young wrestlers or indie wrestlers, but if you're a college athlete, if you're a pro athlete and you're getting recruited by the WWE, be careful because you may be doing jobs to the son of a wrestler real soon. I mean, Chad Gable got pinned to the mat a few weeks ago by Dominic Mysterio. So, if you're a legitimate athlete and you're thinking WWE is the right way to go, look at Chad Gable. The guy got pinned by Dominic Mysterio. The guy went to the Olympics for wrestling, and he got pinned to the mat clean a few weeks ago on Raw by Dominic Mysterio, a guy that makes Hook Taz look like Bret Hart. I mean, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. That Dominic Mysterio is still on Monday Night Raw is shocking to me. Look like shit again tonight. My God, did he look terrible.
But, it seems like this new initiative here to recruit college athletes is just recruit people that with that athletic background that they can make into good jobbers.
Yeah.
Good,
for Roman Reigns and Randy Orton.
Yeah, and future children of the stars, Simone Johnson.
Yeah, the future children of the stars.
Yeah, and it's just like, well, hey, this guy's getting a good spot. He's in a match with Roman.
Yeah,
he loses, but yeah, that's what this is. It's just it's a school of Cesaros.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are very high on the idea of the WWE just going after these ex-athletes or the current athletes or whatever, collegiate athletes, pro athletes. People love that idea because they have size and they have athletic background, and WWE can mold them to be whatever they want, and a lot of great champions in wrestling have come from real athletic backgrounds. On the other side, a lot of these people with real athletic backgrounds, just because you have that and you're signed to WWE doesn't mean it's a slam dunk for a WWE career.
If you don't have an interest for it and a passion for it, it shows so blatantly.
Yeah, and you don't always pick it up. And, like I said, the Rey Mysterio's son could come in and beat you and make you look like a total fool, which does tend to happen. So Riddle beat Gable. Good match, way too short. Gable pins him after a floating bro. And then Randy Orton beat Otis, which, could never happen in real life, but in the WWE, whatever, it's just a show. Randy hits Otis with an RKO. Otis is so great. He's fantastic. He picked Randy up. Randy went off the ropes. Otis catches him, slams him. Just the shit that Otis can do. He looks intimidating. He looks like a brick wall.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like a white Mark Henry. The guy's a monster.
Looks like a guy, like, if he starts, picking on you and trying to antagonize you, you just look at him being like, what do I do? Like, he just looks like a guy you can't solve.
Yeah, you can't do anything to Otis. I was looking at the guy and thinking, my God, it must be a headache to grapple this guy. You can't wrap your arms around his torso. You can't hook an arm because they're so big. Good luck trying to grab his neck or grab his head with that.
His legs
big,
are meaty.
He's just got this big, thick frame. Everything on him is thick. His neck, his arms, his shoulders, his torso, his legs. Everything on this guy is just thick muscle and just beef, pal. It's a lot of beef. I love Otis. I love him. He's convincing. You see him, you believe him. There's nothing not believable about Otis. And again, you say this all. I feel like I'm repeating myself about Otis, but WWE and the people that are size marks, marks for big guys and stuff, and they think only big guys should be in wrestling. They don't go crazy for Otis. And then you look at Otis, and if you saw him in an airport, walking down an airport, everybody would notice and say, what the hell is that guy?
Yeah.
Yet the WWE, they do nothing with him.
It's so strange. He's got everything, and like he's already proven at this point in his career, he could also work. He could work as a babyface and a heel. He could do both. He could be a really sympathetic babyface or a monster heel, which is tough to do.
I think he's getting
those
into
two kind of characters.
I think he's getting into the good hand category because he is just solid. He's just one of these guys that'll be used to put other people over, kind of like Chad Gable. That's what they've done with them. They're legit. They're good. They could work heel. They could work babyface. So let's just use them to put people over like Shelton Benjamin does or whatever.
Or Natalia.
Yeah. So Randy beats Otis tonight because Randy has to win, of course. And then Riddle and Randy do a promo after the match. Riddle wants a hug, and then the crowd chants Randy, and then Riddle tells Randy that no one will know if they hug, which, like, again, Riddle, total stupid guy. Everybody's in the arena, and he could see them, and, you know. Randy eventually does hug Riddle, and then he teases the RKO, but just laughs it off, and they hug, and they joke, and they're all laughing, and it's a happy, nice time with RK Bro. And that was the first 30 minutes of the show. Riddle and Randy promo, Riddle Gable match, Randy Otis match, and then another promo. So you could tell they're stretching for time. Kevin Owens is interviewed backstage. Well, he starts to be interviewed backstage, and then they cut to a Big E promo from his cell phone because Big E is quarantined. Whether he has COVID or not, we don't really know. Maybe he was in close contact and he's being safe. I don't know what the deal is, but the fact that the WWE Champion just got pulled from shows this weekend, it's Monday night, and he's supposed to defend on pay-per-view in 6 days, not a good sign. Not a good sign. So Big E does like one of these Zoom cell phone video promos, talks about retaining his title at the WWE Day 1, and then he says, "Oh, you got to feel that, sucker," which is his new catchphrase, which sounds way too much like Booker T's catchphrase. Can you dig it, sucker? Now it's, "Oh, you got to feel that, sucker." It's like, it's really close to "Can you dig it, sucker?"
Yeah.
You can't end a catchphrase with "sucker." It's just like, it's too Booker T, and Big E has been saying it because, you know, he needs a catchphrase, but "oh, you got to feel that, sucker," is like, it's not good.
Like, Booker T took that from a movie also, so it's like, it's a derivative of something that's derivative.
It's a ripoff of a ripoff. It's just, it's too far gone. It's not good. It's not good.
The Warriors, I think.
And then Kevin Owens reacts to Big E's cell phone promo, and he says, Big E in his promo was like, "Yeah, this is what I worked for. I'm there every week, and I worked really hard." And then Kevin Owens is like, "Yeah, you say you're here every week, but you're not here this week. What's up with that?" And then Kevin tells the interviewer guy, he's like, "What's your name, Kevin? I don't like that. You change that. You have 1 week to change your name." And then he's like, "Yeah, me and Seth, we're best friends now, and I'm going to win the title at Day 1. And by the way, interviewer guy, your new name is Bert," which I like. I think he should call him Bert. This was a great promo from Kevin Owens backstage. Just fantastic stuff. Kevin was on his game tonight. Tonight was the Kevin Owens show. He seemed relaxed. Maybe there's something to, Vince not being there and Michael Hayes and all those guys not being there and putting the pressure. And then all of a sudden, Kevin Owens is the biggest star on the show. He seemed to take control of the show. There seemed to be a confidence there that hasn't been there in a while. He seemed less produced. You know what I mean?
Stumble over his words.
No, because they seem to be coming from the heart, right? Like he was saying, like, "Oh, Big E says, he's here every week, but where is he this week?" And he's saying things. He did another promo in the ring that I thought was really good too before his match. Kevin Owens cuts a promo, says he main evented Madison Square Garden last night, and he won, but don't look it up. Of course, he wrestled Edge in a main event in a steel cage at Madison Square Garden because a bunch of people that were supposed to be there got pulled from the show because of COVID. So, obviously, he lost to Edge, but I like that he's like, "Yeah, I won last night. Don't look it up. Don't worry about it," It was a good little promo from Kevin talking about being WWE Champion at Day 1. Says he's the only one in the match that's actually there tonight, and he's not really sure why. Like, that was a good line. I'm the only guy here. from the match. I don't know where the other guys are, but I thought it was important to show up. It's like we all know where the other guys are, but of course WWE's not saying it, and Kevin Owens is gonna kind of say, hey, by the way, nobody's here, right? You get it? You understand why? Like, he knows that we know, and he knows that he can't say it, and we know that he can't say it, but him just pointing to the fact that he can't say it is good enough. It's a hell of a line.
He's not playing dumb.
No, he's not. He's in on it. He's in on it. He's with us. He's like, guys, I know nobody's here, right? It's weird, right? But don't worry.
Situation.
I'm here, and, obviously nobody's here. You got to address it in some way, and he addressed it. MVP came out and then was like, what are you doing here, man? Bobby Lashley's not there. Right? When MVP came out.
Yeah, it was like they're playing this music. I was like, who is that?
And there was MVP, and you're like, huh? Why? And then he's like, oh, Lashley's going to win the title at day one. I'm like, yeah, okay. If he doesn't have COVID, who knows if he's even going to be there at day one. And then Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander come out, and Kevin wants to wrestle one of them or both of them. So then we go to commercial, we come back, and Kevin beat Cedric Alexander via pinfall after a stunner. Shelton Benjamin came in the ring after the match. He took a stunner too. Kevin became a babyface here because they ran out of babyfaces, I guess.
Yeah.
They're like, well, he's a heel, but we don't really have babyfaces for him to wrestle. So let's just have him wrestle Cedric, and he'll be a babyface tonight, and like whatever. Next week we'll switch.
Same thing happened to
who
AJ
cares?
tonight.
Who cares about continuity?
Yeah.
AJ Styles, too, the same thing happened to him tonight. Like, Kevin Owens just turned babyface tonight because they ran out of babyfaces for him to wrestle. That's really what happened. I don't think he actually turned babyface. I think it was just for tonight because they got nothing else to do.
Yeah. I think they assumed that the line of, like, I'm here tonight and the other guys aren't would be kind of like a heel thing, I guess, is like running down the other guys. But fans just see it as a babyface move is just like, hey, you're here to entertain us.
Yeah.
Really,
Kevin hitting the stunner on Shelton was like, oh, babyface.
Yeah.
It's like two heels were attacking. He just beat one heel fair and square, and then the other heel came to attack him. Kevin hit him with a stunner. Crowd cheers. Kevin celebrates. Kevin's a babyface tonight. Okay. Harold Schneider dropping a super chat. Thank you, Harold. He says, good question, Angela. Oh, okay. Angela had a question. Was it, will day one even happen with the big stars out? Was wondering the same thing, if it will be worth watching. I don't know if it'll be worth watching. I think it'll definitely happen, though.
Yeah,
I think it will definitely happen. Unless...
Whoa!
Thank you. Unless the state of Georgia decides to pull the event, which, as I say it, I can't even say it with a straight face.
Yeah.
The state of Georgia, I'm assuming, has a Republican governor.
Brian Kemp.
Ding, ding. So they will not pull the event. It will definitely happen. Do Republican states shut down these days? Or is it basically Democratic states shut down, Republican states don't?
I mean,
That's
it's
what
hard
it
to tell. It
seems like.
varies state by state. I mean, the thing is like people, like a lot of Democratic states are like a lot huge populations. Also, some governors want to play politics and say, we're making a stand against like the federal government and stuff like that. So we'll keep stuff. But at the same time, like in Florida, theme parks, are going back to masks indoors and masks at the parks and stuff. So
oh yeah, but they're not shutting down.
Not yet, no.
Right.
But
like here's my question.
But like they haven't closed down bars
question.
or venues.
Here's my question for you, and you would know this, right?
I think.
California.
Yeah.
Is it blue?
Yeah, generally blue state. Yeah.
Right.
But I mean,
hold on. Florida,
uniform,
red, right? So
for the
here's
most part.
Are the COVID protocols different at Disney World in Florida than they are at Disneyland in California? Because you would think like Disneyland in California would shut down before Disney World would shut down in Florida. You know what I mean? Because California, they're
like last year,
they're more apt.
It was open in Florida.
They're
and
more
closed in
willing to
California.
shut down things in California than they are in Florida these days, right? Like UFC right now, if they're doing shows, they're running them in Florida, Texas, Abu Dhabi, and Nevada. Like that's it. They're not, and Dana White is saying the same thing. That's why it was so shocking for me when I saw the WWE was not only touring around their country, but also thinking about coming to Canada. They were supposed to have 2 shows in Canada this week. Both got canceled, postponed. The show that's supposed to go down Thursday the 30th here in Montreal got pushed to the 26th of March, and then there was another show supposed to go down on Wednesday in Toronto. That one got pushed to the Montreal show got pushed to the 6th of March. The Toronto show got pushed to the 26th of March. So those shows getting pushed, and even then, who knows? But yeah, Lil Fettuccine 69 asking how are things going with COVID in Canada? Not too good. Not too good. But it does seem odd that things are more shut down here than they are, say, in Detroit, Michigan, where they seem to have a full capacity arena.
Yeah.
They didn't look like they sold out that arena, but they definitely didn't seem like they were limiting people from buying tickets. Just, people didn't want to buy tickets. They seemed to do just under 5,000 people for their house show at Madison Square Garden yesterday, which is pretty awful. Pretty awful. So you didn't answer my question. Disney World, Disneyland?
I would say it would probably, the company would probably have their own restrictions and rules, but as far as abiding by the state rules, Florida is probably looser than California. Like for example, last year they were open in Florida for a long time, and California was just sitting closed because of different state regulations.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I would say that day one is definitely going to happen on Saturday. We will definitely watch it. We will definitely talk about it afterwards right here on the Ringside Report Network. Will it be good? I mean, I think with the original lineup, it was not going to be great. But now, maybe.
I'm wondering what, last-minute jobber matches are we going to see added?
Yeah, I can't imagine it'll be that good. I have no idea what they're going to do. I don't know. They'll definitely do the show. The show must go on. I mean, they did WrestleMania just as COVID was breaking in 2020 in an empty performance center. They're going to do day one. They're going to have fans in attendance, so they'll do a show. Who they put out there is anybody's guess. Hopefully some of their main talent can test negative before Saturday, and they'll wrestle Saturday, and they'll be all good. Hopefully most of the talent will be able to perform on Saturday. The major ones obviously being Big E and Roman Reigns. I think those are the major ones that you kind of need to be there. If you're the WWE, your WWE champion, your Universal champion, I think Big E you could go without. But Roman Reigns, to me, mostly because of the position that the WWE's put themselves in, he is a big question mark, and he's the guy that you need to show up more than anybody because the WWE, once again, has been built around Roman Reigns for the past 5 years. He's the only star that they've concentrated on building, so if he goes down, you lose a lot. And they do have a very big match here with Brock Lesnar. They've run a very intricate angle that they've given a lot of TV time to with Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar and the breakup of Heyman and Roman and all that stuff. Not to mention that the pay-per-view's called Day One, and they're down since Day One-ish and all that. We the ones, Day One. So it does seem like an event for Roman. It does seem like a show that's really all about Roman Reigns right now, and I would imagine that they would need Roman to show up. However, we saw at the beginning of the pandemic Roman Reigns stepping out and going home and saying, I am not comfortable working in this environment. We're seeing reports now from Fightful Select and the Wrestling Observer that the WWE are no longer testing for COVID on a weekly basis. They're going to stop testing their talent for some reason. That's incredible. No longer going to be one of the things that they do. Roman Reigns is compromised. His immune system is compromised. The guy's had leukemia. He left the WWE. He missed a match with Goldberg at WrestleMania for the title because COVID was serious and he didn't want to be around it. Now I wonder, has Roman Reigns been pulled from shows or has he pulled himself from shows?
That's a good question.
Like, if all these people in WWE are popping positive for COVID, and if you're Roman Reigns and you're nervous, you're immunocompromised, you may say, you know what? Time out. I'm going home. I'm I'm not putting my life at risk for another match with Brock Lesnar or whatever the fuck. It doesn't matter.
And rumor has it is that these new changes are to accommodate Brock Lesnar, whose vaccination status is unknown, and that's Roman Reigns' opponent. That's the guy he's going to be breathing and sweating with.
Is that really the rumor? Like Brock was sick of getting tested every week, so they're like, okay, no more tests? Is that really a rumor you read? That's crazy. I hope that's not true. You can't change a COVID policy to accommodate one guy.
Unless it's Brock Lesnar.
I guess unless it's Brock Lesnar, you don't want to piss that guy off.
They got nobody else.
Imagine telling Brock Lesnar you're going to stick a thing up his nose, and he's like, no, you're not.
I mean,
what are you going to do?
That's the thing. So, and if you're Joanna Hawaii, you could be like, I'm not comfortable with this. I'm about.
I don't want to work with Brock Lesnar.
Well within his right.
I don't want to work with this. I mean, it's a pay-per-view, right? So say Seth Rollins has COVID, right? He has COVID. That's the only thing we do know. I mean, Becky Lynch wasn't on the show tonight, but Seth has COVID. We know this. He's admitted it on Twitter. You think Roman Reigns wants to be in the same locker room as a guy who's got COVID? And the WWE's not testing, so he doesn't know if he's got COVID or not?
I know. So,
because the NFL, right, they're starting to let guys play that have COVID but don't have symptoms. If that's what the WWE is going to start doing, that's really dangerous for somebody that's immunocompromised like Roman Reigns. Like, he's got a higher risk to get sicker, from what I understand. But, this is all fluid and confusing. But, he has left for a long period of time before because of this COVID thing, and I could see him doing it again.
And that's a huge failure on the company's part for not thinking, hey, this might happen again. Maybe when he comes back, we shouldn't just give him everything. And now he's gone again, and we don't know what to do. Like, they've really put themselves in an even deeper corner. Like last year when he left, it was kind of like, okay, Roman's take a step back.
He was a big part, but he wasn't the whole thing.
And now they could shine a light on Drew or whatever they did, or Braun Strowman. I think, now he's not even. That's
Braun beat Goldberg.
A lot of guys are gone now that could have taken that ball. 2 years.
This pandemic's been going on forever.
God damn it.
I know.
So.
Almost 2 years, right?
Yeah. So. They've really put themselves in the corner here because, Roman, can leave at any time, and that's well within his right, and it's not a terrible decision on his part. But the company's just invested so much in him and nobody else that
they're in a tough spot now.
They're in an insanely tough spot, especially since they fired all those people like Braun Strowman.
They fired so much of their depth of the roster, and that was evident tonight. And yeah, if Roman goes down for whatever reason, injury, COVID, leukemia, retirement, contract, he wants more money, and WWE's like, too much, and he's like, I'm leaving, I got movie deals, whatever. WWE becomes a company that's in a really tough spot because they haven't built anybody else up behind them. Damn, it would have been good for them to, maybe put Big E over at Survivor Series, but I guess it's too late for that now.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been good to, help build other guys to maybe not on the same level, but close to the same level. Because right now you have Roman on an A level, and there's nobody on the B level. Everybody's on a C or D or E or F, right? Like, you didn't put anybody on a B level. Everybody's, like, Roman's A, Brock's A, and then everybody else is like C, D, E. Like, they're all second-class citizens next to Roman Reigns. And now if he does step out, puts them in a really tough spot. So this COVID thing with the WWE and the pay-per-view that they have to do on Sunday, or Saturday rather, is it's a fluid situation, and it's I don't know. I mean, I don't know what we're actually going to see on Saturday. I want to do a preview for this show, but I cannot tell you what matches we will actually see. Big E defending the WWE title versus Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and Bobby Lashley in a fatal four-way is supposed to happen, but Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, and Big E were all absent from the show tonight. Seth Rollins and Big E both did cell phone promos that they sent in. Kevin was all over the show, couple promos, and a match. And Bobby was not around, no video package, no nothing. MVP came out to represent him.
I mean, we don't need to worry about this now in detail, but, the Rumble's around the corner. 30 men.
30 men in one ring.
Do they have 30 men?
Do they have 30 men left? Yeah, I don't know. They might have to bring back that Grayson guy who was on tonight. So if this match happens, I expect Big E to retain the WWE title in this Fatal 4-Way, but I don't know if this match will happen.
Think there's any chance they'll give the belt to Kevin Owens by default?
No. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, another match up in the air. I think Roman Reigns retains if it does happen, but I don't know if it happens.
Or maybe Roman drops it. Brock is champ?
No.
Because Roman's leaving?
Kevin Owens is not leaving. Kevin Owens just signed a new deal with WWE. He's not going anywhere.
He's getting paid.
He signed a multi-year deal worth $2 to $3 million a year was the report. So Kevin Owens is making big money. He's not going anywhere. He's the face of Raw, okay? You watch the show tonight? Face of Raw. Roman versus Brock, I don't think it's happening, honestly. I don't think it happens. If it does happen, I think Roman beats Brock and whatever, but honestly, that match, I think, is unlikely for Saturday. And that's their main match that they're selling. That's the main match they're building. It's going to blow up in their face because it won't actually happen.
No, that's not the match they're selling. The match they're selling is Edge versus Miz.
Get the fuck out of here. Edge versus Miz. Edge will win. If he doesn't, you should just stop watching wrestling forever. Because, come on. But Miz might win, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, Miz could win.
I think Edge wins, though, right? He's got to.
You think Beth Phoenix, comes out to even the odds with Maurice?
No.
No? Okay.
Usos versus New Day.
God damn, again.
The Usos, I think, were pulled from the show, too, right?
Yeah, you got to wonder about their status.
Kofi did wrestle. He wrestled somebody at a house show. So Kofi's still... Sami Zayn, I think.
Yeah.
At a house show tonight. A SmackDown show.
Isn't Sami Zayn wrestling at day one? Didn't he get added to a match?
Yeah, he's wrestling for the Intercontinental title against...
Shinsuke.
Well, I don't know if that's actually at day one. He won a SmackDown gauntlet to earn an Intercontinental title shot, but it's not officially on the day one card. But they might need it.
Mm-hmm.
They might need it. Unless Shinsuke has been pulled, which is possible too.
Sami Shinsuke.
Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan. Becky was not on Raw tonight. Neither was Liv Morgan. They did run a video package for them, so you would assume the match is still on for Saturday. Becky should win. There's no way Liv Morgan wins. But, again, I don't know if that match will happen. They're both pulled.
It's a tough situation for Becky. If her husband is positive, we don't know if she's positive or not. She's got a newborn. She's got to think about that first.
It's dangerous. So Becky's definitely dealing with a lot right now. Becky and Seth, we wish them speedy recovery. Well, Seth anyways. I don't know about Becky. I don't know if that match happens on Saturday. Again, a lot of matches up in the air. Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss. I hope that match never happens. I don't know. Drew has been wrestling. Drew has been around. He didn't get pulled from any shows. I don't know about Madcap Moss, and frankly, no one cares. RK Bro will wrestle the Street Profits. That will happen. That match, I am sure, will happen because we saw all those guys wrestle tonight. So that match will for sure happen. Although Bianca Belair was pulled from shows, and Montez is her husband, so, I don't know. Maybe not. Who knows? Who knows? Street Profits versus the Mysterios tonight was horrible.
Oh, my God.
Just a terrible, terrible match. I thought Montez Ford broke his neck a couple of times. Rey Mysterio did a backward springboard and sat on Montez's head, and Montez kind of had to lift him back up with his head and neck. Looked terrible. And then Montez got flipped outside the ring, and then Dominic did a sunset flip thing on him, and it just...
Yeah, it just drew, he looked like his neck was compressed going into the wall.
Yeah, everything that happened to Montez tonight looked rough, and this is why wrestlers have neck injuries long-term, because of matches like this with the sloppy-ass Mysterios. Rey would have retired years ago, but he needs to stick around so that his son can have a job, and his son should just be doing jobs. He's a pure jobber.
Yeah.
He did do the job tonight. Thankfully, he is awful. Just awful. At one point, Dawkins tossed Dominic into the ropes. Dominic comes back doing a ducking something that didn't come because Dawkins was also ducking, and they just kind of bumped into each other. It looked terrible. Really bad.
And he also, like, maybe the worst 619 we've ever seen.
Oh, yeah. Dominic did the 619 on Montez.
Way off.
Just not even close to touching him. It's just horrible. Dominic was so bad tonight. And he's usually bad. But he was very bad tonight.
There's a particular bit of sloppiness going throughout the roster tonight. A lot of spots that look like, ooh, that guy didn't look like he landed on his neck there.
I think
spots, but this match was full of them.
I think what happened was a lot of these guys are used to having a lot of their shit planned out for them, and because everything was just kind of put together last minute, they didn't have a lot of time to plan, and things went wrong. It was a sloppy night of wrestling. Nothing really that good. This match was the worst, though. Street Profits and Mysterios. Just terrible. Mm-hmm. Just terrible. Dominic is so bad. And Montez kept, like, wagging his tongue, like, what's he doing that for to Dominic Mysterio? Does he want to lick Dominic's ass or something? What the hell is that? Well, I don't know. You don't wag your tongue at another man like that. That's something you do to a lady to indicate that you may want to give her cunnilingus or something. I think that is appropriate. I mean, not appropriate, but that's the only time that you should be making that face if you're a man. You don't make that face to another man. You don't lick your tongue.
Unless you want to.
Yeah, unless you do want to do sex on that man. Yeah. You want to tongue his genitals in some way. But doing that face to another man, especially if you're
threatening way.
Montez, a heterosexual married Christian man, I don't think he would do that to Dominic. Well, maybe.
You know, when you say, like, praise God all the time,
you're
true. Overcompensating a bit.
That's true. A lot of those heterosexual married Christian men do wind up having secret gay sex, especially if they're elected members of American government. That tends to happen.
Or the clergy.
Yeah, that happens a lot. I don't think Montez is secretly gay. I think he was just doing a weird tongue gesture, and we're reading into it. All right? Okay, I'll say it. Montez wants to have sex with Dominic Mysterio. Okay?
And that's fine.
That's fine.
That's fine.
That's fine.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Montez,
Dominic, Bianca, all having sex together is fine if they're all consenting adults. It's a beautiful thing.
It could be a throuple.
It's fine. It's fine. I don't think that's what's really going on.
Very athletic.
But, hey, Montez, maybe don't make lewd tongue gestures to Dominic Mysterio, and we won't think that you want to have three-way sex with Bianca Belair and Dominic Mysterio and yourself.
Especially when you talk about his religiousness, you know, like tongue wagging was always seen as a bit like satanic, you know, like,
very satanic.
Like, you know, you're a kiss or something.
Unchristian of you, Montez. Very unchristian. Uncool as well. Very uncool. I mean, it was just odd. It was just like, why is he doing that?
He's a weird guy.
He's a strange guy. It was just a weird thing to do. It's like, why is he doing that? Why is he wagging his tongue at Dominic?
Twice he did it.
Yeah. Like The Rock would do that, like, to the ladies, you know?
Even then. It's like a pretty vulgar...
It's vulgar. It's creepy. Montez is very creepy. Speaking of vulgar things, Veer Venus is coming right in your face.
Is he, though?
They keep saying Veer Venus is coming. Veer Venus is coming. Every single week, Veer Venus is coming. They don't call him Veer Venus, but I think of him as Veer Venus, Val Venus' son. And, when they say he's coming, I think of Val Venus.
They said that about Val.
Yeah.
In his vignettes.
It's weird, isn't it? Do you think they're figuring it out like he is Veer Venus?
Someone heard a show and they're like, oh, my God.
Wait a second. Let's do this thing where he's coming every week and,
Hello, ladies.
I always feel the sensation. I'm coming. So you must
all
imagine.
The time.
I'm coming all the time.
I look at myself in the mirror. I'm just coming. Classic Arnold.
Reginald and Dana Brooke were not on a date this week. They were in a match because
they need to fill time.
Yeah. Reginald and Dana Brooke versus R-Truth and Tamina. And you think, what the hell is that? And Reggie rolled up Truth with like a really rough roll-up to get the win. And then Tamina got mad and tried to attack Truth but missed. And then Dana hit Tamina on her way out. And Dana is still the 24/7 champion. I'm not sure if the belt was on the line in this weirdo match, but who cares because Reggie and Dana won anyways.
Is it me? This feels like the first intergender tag match
in a while.
Like probably since like Seth and Becky versus Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans when they were doing that. That probably feels like the last time they did those. And even then, though, I don't think they had them interacting with like Baron and Becky didn't really have spots Like, I think he gave her an end of days once, but that was like
Yeah.
in a promo. But like tonight, there were a couple spots where like the men and the women were interacting with each other.
Did they?
Yeah, like I think
I don't think they did.
I thought Reggie and Tamina or had like a spot, like
I don't know.
there was like a not a super kick, but like I thought like Reggie like hit Tamina with something. I was like, whoa!
I don't think so.
I thought I didn't know they still
Maybe.
did intergender.
Honestly, I tuned out because like
Or R-Truth, like did he throw?
no, because Tamina tried to hit Truth but missed. I don't think they did any.
Tamina and Truth are partners.
No, after the match.
Oh, after no, but during the match.
I don't know.
I don't know. I felt like there was some like male on lady violence, which was a bit surprising. Like, cause like I mean, they do these matches all the time on the Indies, but I thought WWE had a policy of like we won't depict that anymore.
Doug says R-Truth went at Dana. I don't know.
Yeah, he at one point like
I was
like,
not paying attention to this match.
There
obviously.
was a little bit of like a move or like a whip into the corner. It was like straight because usually in those matches when like a man, tags in, and he's facing a woman, the woman will like automatically go and like tag into her male like partner. But there was like a couple times where they had little spots. I found that interesting. I feel like Reggie tried to do some kind of move on Tamina, like a kick or a grapple move. I don't know. There was something tonight. I guess I'll have to find out and watch it again.
I don't think you do. I don't think you need to watch this again. I was barely watching this. I did not like this. I did not like this. I didn't care about this. I mean, whatever. It's Reginald and Dana Brooke and Tamina for the 24/7 title. Like, who cares? Who cares? Miz is backstage berating a guy for giving him the wrong roses. He's doing a vow renewal tonight, and he has an invited guest to be the officiant. It's Eric Bischoff. He's back and better than ever. Eric Bischoff, we've seen him on AEW TV most recently, and that's the last time we saw him in any kind of big TV role in wrestling, and now he shows up in the WWE, and he was in the main event segment tonight with Miz and Maurice.
Now, they were saying, like, Bischoff, it's not a WWE wedding without Eric Bischoff. Wasn't he only at the Billy and Chuck commitment ceremony where he wore, like, a prosthetics and, like, sent out 3-minute warning? Like, that was the only Bischoff-involved wedding, I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
Maybe there's some...
Was
he was there for
involved?
Triple H and Stephanie's vows?
No, I don't think so. Was he involved in the Tori Wilson thing, the wedding there?
No, that was on SmackDown. I don't think...
Oh, right. He was on Raw at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Bischoff, he's just famous for being the guy in the Billy and Chuck thing, so...
Because he wore, like, the costume, and it was like, no, but we didn't know it was him until he did.
And they needed
3
something
minutes.
for this show.
Yeah.
And they're like, can we get Bischoff? And Bischoff's like, yeah, sure.
You got 20 grand?
I don't care. I'll show up. I don't care. Looking real crispy, real orange, Eric Bischoff tonight.
Well, because he was all, like, his hair was super white. He was wearing a white suit, so the orange just stood out.
His hair was so white and his skin was so orange. It was strange. Bischoff in the ring to officiate the Miz and Maurice vow renewal ceremony was the main event segment tonight. Miz tripped on the steps walking into the ring, which is probably the moment of the night. Miz almost falling on his face. Bischoff was laughing at him. It was pretty good. Maurice came to the ring, and she's in a wedding dress, and then the Miz begins the vow renewal ceremony by cutting a promo on Edge and talking about how he's going to beat him at day one, which was pretty good. He was just like, hey, Maurice comes into the ring. He doesn't say shit about Maurice. He's like, Edge, I'm going to get you at day one. It's like, all right.
I'm the most must-see.
I'm must-see. I'm the Miz. I'm awesome. It's like, all right, we get it. And then Miz says, you people at bad times, you don't have anything good. That's why we're here to do the vow renewal. We're here to give you something monumentous. And I said, I don't think monumentous is a word.
I believe it's monumental.
Monumentous. Is that a word? Oh, shit, I think it is.
Oh, it is?
More monumentous.
Right.
What? Very significant. Monumentous is a word. I thought it wasn't a word, but I just Googled it. Turns out it is a word.
Sounds like a Michael Scott kind of word.
Oh, well, good job, Miz. You came up with a new word. Maurice did her vows.
Point to you.
They were pretty boring. Then Miz did vows, also boring. This was boring. Eric Bischoff says, does anybody object? And he's like, oh, hell, we know how this is going to turn out. And then Edge's music hits, and you're like, what?
Why would Edge object?
Yeah, momentous and monumental is a word, but then he combined them and he did monumentous, and it turns out if you Google monumentous, it is a word, which surprises me. I don't know why Bischoff was like, hey, we all know how this is going to turn out. Let's just fucking skip to the... I was like, what? Why are you
Come on out, Edge.
Why are you giving
we know
this
you're
away?
back there.
I swear, if Vince was there, he would not have said that. Edge shows up and says he's going to embarrass Miz before beating him at day 1. And Edge says that he's going to beat Miz at day 1. And Miz says he wanted to give Edge a front row seat to see what true love looks like. And then Miz and Maurice make out for a little while. And Edge is like, all right, that's enough. Get a room. It was a little weird. And then Edge is like, yeah, I'm going to embarrass you. And Miz thinks something is about to happen, but then nothing happens. And then Edge is like, oh, Miz, I hope you didn't want a white wedding. And then the Brood music plays, and you know what's happening. The bloodbath. Edge leaves the ring, and a bunch of purple blood is dumped on Miz and Maurice and a little bit on Eric Bischoff. I don't know what he did wrong there, but Bischoff got some collateral damage on his white suit. So the blood from the Brood used to be red. Now it's purple because I think they can't have like stuff that looks like blood because of their advertisers or whatever. Yeah.
I was hoping to see Gangrel.
Yeah, I knew I wasn't going to see Gangrel. This was not great, you know? You're supposed to be like, oh, shit, bloodbath. But it's like, all right. Edge did a thing, dumped a bunch of purple Kool-Aid on Miz and Maurice, and that's how Raw ended. It was just not a great way to end the show.
It was not good. It was just very sloppy and just very, like, you know, the dumping something from the ceiling. Like,
and we don't need to see
after
people
they
dumping.
dumped shit on the Spirit Squad. I think that was the last time.
I think we're good. I think we're good at that point. Like, dumping stuff from the ceiling is never great. The green slime, the fake blood, the poop, the whatever you're going to dump from the ceiling. AEW's done it too, right? Didn't somebody dump green slime or something on somebody at some point?
They must have.
I don't know. It's stupid.
It's so carny.
Stop dumping stuff from the ceiling on people. Also, people that get stuff dumped on you, stop selling it like you're drowning in the stuff that you're clearly just soaked in. You're not drowning. Okay, Vince did it when he was being soaked in the beer. It was funny when Vince did it, but now everybody acting like they're swimming in this shit that gets dumped on them. It's like, all right, no, you're not. Like, it was funny when Vince did it, but now that every wrestler's like, oh, I'm going to do the Vince thing. I'm going to swim in shit because when am I ever going to get stuff dumped on me again? So I'm going to pretend like I'm drowning in it. It's like, no, man. It's stupid. It looks worse. Stop selling it like that. Stop selling it like that. Just be mad, but don't be like, I'm swimming in this.
Or do something a bit different, you know? Try to stand up, but you slip, you know, and you're taking little bumps around. And
yeah, or how about you just like charge at Edge and be like, I'm going to put this on you now, or, you know?
Or you charge, but then you slip.
Or how about, you know, Miz gets up, he looks at Eric Bischoff, and he's like, oh, you got some on you. Bischoff could be mad. Miz could hug Bischoff, put more on him. I don't know, but what they did was just, you know, flat. And that's how the show ended. Flat. The rest of the show, Dolph Ziggler beats Damien Priest by disqualification. This match was headed towards something good, and then Priest just decided to stop, to not cease his attack on Dolph Ziggler in the corner. The referee counted to 5. Priest didn't stop attacking Dolph, so the match ended in a disqualification. This is the worst finish in wrestling. I think I said it last week, like, could we not do these finishes anymore? And, of course, they do them again. The in the corner, beating you up, referee tells you to stop, counts to 5.
Shove the ref.
Cause a disqualification. He didn't even shove the ref.
No, sometimes they do.
Yeah, but this time he's just like, I'm going to punch Dolph Ziggler a bunch in the corner. Ref is like, stop it. He's like, nah. He's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Disqualification. And then Priest kept attacking Dolph Ziggler and hit his crossroads thing outside the ring. And it's the worst finish in wrestling. It's the most uninspired. And last week, Damien Priest got himself counted out. This week, because Dolph Ziggler won last week, Dolph got a title shot, but of course he wins by disqualification. I'm going to guess that they do this match at day 1 because they're going to be needing to fill time. There's going to be a bunch of people missing, and I think Dolph and Damien, because they wrestled tonight, they're COVID-free, so they will wrestle again for the U.S. title at day 1. And don't be surprised if that has a non-finish too, because they need to stretch this shit out.
Or it's a no DQ match.
Right?
Or a no DQ match.
I hope so. It should
so-
be no DQ at this point, but
or a steel
WWE,
cage even.
they're not that smart with their stipulations. I don't know.
Yeah, but this whole thing about Damien Priest getting DQ'd and counted out and all this stuff on purpose because of his rage face, it's killing his character. And I like Damien Priest. And I want to like his character more, but like this stuff is making him it's making the audience think, oh, here comes Damien Priest. Here comes a boring non-finish.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be invested in this match because when I see him, I'm expecting to be disappointed.
And like the babyface that, fights hard and has hard-hitting matches and then winds up winning is cool. But the babyface who's like mentally unstable and snaps and costs himself victories is like not that cool. Like the guy's like cool, you want to get behind him, and then he loses matches because he can't keep it together. It's like, well, you're not really a guy to get behind.
Yeah.
Every time they have a guy that has some momentum, like a young star that you think, hey, they could do something with him, like a Riddle or Damian Priest, they just they ruin the gimmick.
Yeah, they just
And
make
the
it the worst way possible.
The Priest just like losing it all the time. It's like, come on, man. Come on. Doug Hepburn dropping a super chat. He says, be sure to mention Jake Paul because the algorithm. Thanks again, Ben and Dave. Thank you, Doug. You are the super chat leader of the night. Doug Hepburn. You should be getting a package from me, Doug, real soon. I don't know if you got it yet, but it should be coming real soon, Doug. So get ready for a package. I sent you something. AJ's in the chat for some reason. I don't know what's happening. But yeah, Jake Paul. Jake Paul is the best. NFTs, cryptocurrency, Jake Paul. Jake Paul, Logan Paul, cryptocurrency, and so on. That'll help the algorithm. TikTok. Big Buck. Fick fuck. AJ Styles cuts an in-ring promo. He says, well, I've seen giants come and go, but there's only been one phenomenal AJ Styles. Where's Omas? Why isn't he here? Grayson Waller, this NXT guy that AJ Styles has been kind of feuding with, he's ringside. So they're like, hey, let's get him there because he doesn't have COVID. So, yeah. AJ invites Grayson into the ring. Grayson talks about how Omas is going to beat AJ Styles. Of course, Omas is not there. Grayson cuts a heel promo on AJ, who up until this point was a heel, but I guess tonight he turned babyface, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But he was very much a babyface tonight. Grayson Waller cuts a heel promo on him. Apollo Crews and Commander Aziz come out. They both cut heel promos on him. Apollo says, oh, I get along with my giant. What's the matter with you, AJ? You don't have your giant. And then it seemed like Aziz challenged AJ to a match. I was like, oh, okay, AJ isn't going to wrestle Omas tonight. He'll wrestle Aziz instead. So, flip one giant for another. We get a similar style match. But then instead we got an AJ Styles Apollo Crews match, which I wasn't mad at. And actually, this was the match of the night.
More than Riddle Gable?
This was longer. This had more meat to it. Like this was. I like this match.
I don't know. This match, I don't know.
It was a little sloppy.
Too much. I think Riddle Gable for me.
Riddle Gable was good, but it was 2 minutes?
Yeah, but it was a hell of a 2 minutes.
This had more substance to it. I'm going to give this one the match of the night.
Right.
Riddle Gable was good too. But I liked AJ Styles, Apollo Crews. The Styles clash that AJ gave him was nasty. Nasty. And then the post-match I really liked.
Oh, God.
Because...
never seen that before.
So AJ hits the Styles clash on Apollo. Solid match. AJ wins. And then Commander Aziz tries to attack AJ Styles, but AJ escapes, rolls out of the ring, and then AJ comes back, jumps, springboard, phenomenal forearm on Commander Aziz. Commander Aziz stumbles away. You think he's bumped and rolled out of the ring. AJ Styles stands there. His music plays. He's posing. And then Commander Aziz stumbles back into the frame, and AJ Styles looks at him like, what the fuck are you doing, man? And AJ reels back and punches him square in the nose. Doesn't hold back, just goes pop right in the face, just nails him. And Aziz kind of stumbles and falls back into the corner. And then AJ's yelling at him, saying something like, stay down, motherfucker.
Forceful.
AJ is yelling at him. AJ is mad. And he punched him for real in the face. And Aziz, when he took the punch from AJ, he realized he fucked up.
I
you know,
like
at that point, he's like, "Uh-oh, I fucked up here."
That's one of the rules.
You don't come back. You take the phenomenal forearm, you go down, you powder out, you roll out of the ring. You don't come back at AJ Styles to take a punch, and that's what puts you down. That's not how the segment ends, Commander Aziz. I mean, this guy was on Raw Underground as Dabba-Kato. This guy has been in the developmental system and in the WWE's main roster system for how long now? 2, 3 years? How long has this guy been around? And he still hasn't figured out. You take the phenomenal forearm, you take a bump, and you powder the fuck out. You don't come back at AJ to get punched square in the face, you big dumb fuck.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. I'm thinking about it. I don't think I've ever seen
dumbass
where a guy's posing and his music is playing, and then someone like just comes back in and like tries to like keep it going. Like that's never happened before because like it's such a fundamental rule, like especially for WWE because they try to teach you all about like, oh, it's a TV show and the segment ends. We're gonna we don't want action because we want to finish and go to the next thing.
Finisher, bump out, music hits.
The camera's not on you anymore.
Camera's on AJ. AJ's posing. His music's playing. Big dumb Aziz isn't supposed to stumble back into the frame to get punched in the face. Fucking idiot. God, he looks stupid. Fire that man.
Yeah.
Fire that man immediately. If AJ Styles was Shawn Michaels, this guy would have been fired. If it was
Shawn?
If this was 1996 Shawn Michaels, Commander Aziz is fired right now. Over.
Like
done.
The way Shawn treated Vader.
Yeah. And that's Vader. The guy was fucking talented. Yeah. This big piece of garbage is useless. He's Apollo Crews's jabroni guy. And Apollo Crews is a jabroni guy. You know what I mean? When you are the backup of AJ Styles, it's like, well, at least I'm backup of AJ Styles. When you're backup of Apollo Crews, you're like, shit, we could both be fired tomorrow and no one would even notice. I like Apollo Crews. I hate his gimmick, but I like him. Commander Aziz, I don't like. I think he's garbage. I mean, I thought he was fine up until tonight. I thought he was like, big, green, but obviously he had a look, something, maybe. But after seeing him do what he did to AJ Styles tonight, you're like, come on, man. Get the fuck out of here, Commander Aziz. You can't get a promo. You don't know when to get out of the ring. AJ Styles has to punch you on the face on international television and yell at you, berate you because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Get off my TV. Just because you're like 6'10" or whatever, there's no reason to have you around. Oh my God, AJ's so fucked. AJ, wrong again.
What?
Danny Brook Media. Maybe the punch was more exciting. Sometimes you need to change the game finish. AJ doesn't know shit about wrestling, and he's like trying to make an argument. AJ, you don't understand. You're out of your depth. You're out of your element. The world doesn't start and stop at your fucking convenience, AJ. He really is Donnie from fucking Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
That's who AJ is.
I am the walrus.
I'm the dude. Fred is Walter, and AJ's Donnie. Like, if we're the Big Lebowski, that's exactly who it is. Fred is so Walter, too, and I'm very much the dude.
I'm Brent.
Which one's Brent?
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh, boo. Fuck that guy. Fucking Brent. You're a nihilist.
Oh no!
You're a nihilist. You don't care about anything.
I'm the dude's landlord.
I fuck you up. I fuck you up.
You see my play, dude?
Yeah, you're that guy. Yeah, you are the dude's landlord. I would be the dude. AJ would definitely be Donnie.
Dude, it's the first.
And Fred is very Walter. You know what I mean?
That's such a good line. He's like, dude, it's the first. Far out.
Far out.
Oh, the rent.
AJ doesn't even get the reference. I don't even think he's seen the movie.
Lebowski?
I doubt AJ's seen Big Lebowski. AJ hasn't seen anything since 1978. Like if it's been made, music, movies, TV after 1978, maybe 82, I'd say AJ hasn't seen it.
Wow.
All his references are like Three's Company, Vanilla Ice or whatever.
That's 90s.
Well, early 90s, yeah. I guess. But,
like select things.
He's got very selective references, and they're all very old-timey and confusing. Like, he's making Three's Company references, and I'm pretty sure everybody on that show's dead at this point.
There's like one person still left.
Is Suzanne Summers alive?
I think.
Rest in peace.
But
But the main guy, John Ritter, is dead.
Joyce DeWitt, I think, died.
I don't know who that is. See?
The three.
That's how little I know about the Three's Company.
John Ritter's dead, yeah. You know, John Ritter is Tex Ritter's son.
You didn't see Curb Your Enthusiasm this week?
Yeah, no.
Oh, it's fucking funny. Woman goes to Leon. You know, it's two's company, three's a crowd. No, three's company, and it was a guy and two ladies who was fucking both of them. Leon, Larry's girlfriend is trying to kick Leon. She's like, two's company, three's a crowd, Leon. Get out of the house. You know, he's like, no, three's company. There's a guy and two ladies. Leon's getting all upset. Oh, it was a good episode with Mary Ferguson and all that, Leon. It was all right.
There's another Mary Ferguson? I'm way behind on Curb.
Yeah, he found another Mary Ferguson. It's good. It was pretty good. Like, the season started off bad.
The first episode was good.
Yeah, but then there was a couple that were not so good. But, you know, the past few episodes, as soon as Tracy Ullman came on the show, it's been better. She's been good. Yeah. She's added a level. Anyways, back to Raw. Fuck Commander Aziz. And I think that's everything that happened on Raw. Honestly, I think we've covered everything.
Yeah, it's just Riddle and Randy just took up so much time.
Yeah. Well, it was half an hour of Riddle and Randy. A lot of Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens was the MVP of the show tonight. A couple decent matches. You know, Riddle and Gable was good. Even Randy and Otis was not bad. Kevin Owens and Cedric Alexander was fine, but it was just kind of pointless. Dolph Ziggler and Damien Priest was all right, but the finish was bad. The matches in the ring were not terrible. AJ Styles and Apollo Crews I liked. I thought that was probably the best match, but Riddle and Gable was certainly good too. Street Profits and the Mysterios, by far the worst match. Get Dominic out of the ring. He's going to hurt somebody. Reginald and Dana Brooke versus R-Truth and Tamina was actually better than that.
Yeah.
Which shows you how bad Dominic truly is. Is he a better wrestler than me? Maybe. I don't know. I've never wrestled before. But he's not a better wrestler than anybody on Raw. I'd rather watch Reginald.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, is there a wrestler that is worse than Dominic on Raw? I don't think so.
I mean,
I really, like, honestly, not that we saw tonight. I mean, I would rather watch Dominic than Rick Boogs or Madcap Moss, I guess, or Ridge Holland at this point. But they're kind of new, so, you know, maybe.
Or that Grayson Waller.
Grayson Waller. His accent was pretty hilarious. It sounded like, what did he say to AJ?
Oh, geez, somebody cheese lad, cheese lad.
Yeah, I think he said cheers lad, but it very much sounded like cheese lad. Like he was calling AJ cheese lad. And then he said something like, oh, I'm not going to pay my dues. But because of his accent, he's like, oh, I'm not going to pay my dues. And I'm like, you're not going to pay your dues.
Right.
You should always pay your dues. Like me. Hit me up on Super Chat. Just like Harold Schneider did. I think he's Schneider, you know, I would say. Probably, you know, Jew on Jew payment. Thank you, Harold, for the Super Chat. We love you. Thank you, my friend. Harold is the new Super Chat leader tonight. Pay your Jews.
Harold Ichiban.
All right, guys.
Also,
I don't know what the hell.
Austin Theory tonight either.
I don't know what the hell AJ's saying. Shout out Patrick C. Hamilton. Shout out Doug Hepburn. Shout out Harold Schneider. Harold is the Super Chat leader of the night. Doug Hepburn, thank you for supporting tonight on the Super Chat. Shout out to Angelo. Shout out to Patrick. Shout out to Doug. Silent by Deadly as well. Thank you for supporting tonight. Thank you to all the members, all the Super Chatters, and even AJ. And you can get some of our new merch over at ringsidereport.net/shop. ringsidereport.net/shop. We got new merch. We got t-shirts, my face on them. Oh, yeah. This is a new one. Dave Simon, The Authority. The Authority with my face on it. Oh, that's a weird one. I don't love the picture of me on this. I kind of want a different picture. I don't love it. It's like a weird picture of me. I think we need a new picture.
I have like a De Niro face.
I don't like it. I mean, get the shirt for sure. I mean, I shouldn't disparage the thing, but I don't love the picture of me on this shirt. I gotta say,
there'll be a future designs.
Yeah, let's get a new design of me. It's gone. Ah, well, what are you gonna do? There, the Authority. Look at that. That's me.
You're on a T-shirt.
Yeah, I'm on a shirt. You can go buy the shirt. It says the Authority.
You have a look of authority on your face.
Yeah, it's all right, I guess. I could do a better look.
Like a look of saying, like, you're not going to find a better opinion than mine, It's got that look.
All right, guys. Angelo says no super chat from me tonight. You could super chat, Angelo. It's totally fine. We don't mind. We don't mind at all.
Not discouraged.
Yeah, it's encouraged to super chat. It's not something we're discouraging you from doing. We definitely encourage and support it. Thank you to who's the super chat leader? What did I say? Harold. Harold is the super chat leader. Thank you, Harold.
Harry.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Silent by Deadly. And I will be back here Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, right after Dynamite to recap Dynamite. And then AJ and Freddie and I will be back on Thursday night to recap the year that was in MMA of 2021. Shout out to Jake Paul. We love you. Forever, Jake Paul. Titus O'Neil. Let's play us out with a little Titus O'Neil. Titus O'Neil is a motherfucker. Hate that guy. Motherfucker. Punch him in his penis. Titus O'Neil. He's a dick. Punch him in his 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 dick. Woo.
Gonna make this face at him.
La 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 la. Having sex with Dominic Mysterio. All right, guys.
Whoa.
We'll see you again
All
Wednesday.
Right